Welcome back to Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode, episode 11. And unfortunately, due to a mistake I made, I'm doing this on voiceover. Promise it's just this one episode. I told the X-Story to record just, only the game's audio and not me talking. So I'm going to show you some of what I've been doing with voiceover. So inside here we have our system from last episode, 20 octadic capacitors, 63 double layers, and a couple of stacks of basics, and everything is pretty amazing in there. No more problems with capacitors at all. I haven't hooked it up into the system yet because, well, frankly, I just wanted to see them all pile up rather than be in the various jungle drawers that we're having a look at. So this episode, I wanted to take a look at some upgrades. Reinforced caches are thermal expansion's version of storage drawers. They're going to be handy for mob drops. If I just pop them down, you'll see as I put them in, they have 160,000 storage room, which is much higher than a storage drawer by default, and they're very cheap to actually make, which makes them ideal for what I'm going to be using for them for. Just really very like equivalent to a 1x1 storage drawer, but for mob drops. And yeah, in a minute, old me is going to go over to the mob farm, where I can pretty much show you one of the things that we're actually doing, and that's just separate because it's been interacted with. So yeah, there's no problem there. Let's head over to the mob farm, shall we? Hopefully, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're going to head over to the mob farm. So mob farm I put together is a tower like you would normally expect. At the top, the tower is full of 2 block high space, but on top we have these lights, redstone lamps. They're just glowstone with redstone around them, controlled by red ally wire from a switch at the bottom, and inside you're about to see it's 2 blocks high, so it excludes Enderman at the moment. I'll show you why in a second, but they're going to have redstone lamps, and they're too deep in some places. You'll see over here, I've actually put 2 layers, and without falling down, hopefully. So 2 layers, just so that I can put this in temporarily for the non-Enderman version, and then just remove 1 layer, remove 1 ceiling layer, and we'll end up with the Enderman back, which is what we actually need finally. So yeah, I was just filling the ceiling that I've missed. There's a few glowstone lamps missing, but it shouldn't matter anyway to the particular spawn. We can just turn them on and off remotely, and that should be fine, I think. Yeah, just redstone lamps are on at the moment, so yeah, no problem. And in the center, if you look down, you'll see some cobble on the right-hand side there, hopefully. Yeah, so it's a manual farm at the moment. Normally there'll be diamond spikes there. They're not going to be there just yet because I need to get something. And what I need to get is, unfortunately for the inventory panel, is a soul vial for a witch. Very hard to actually get. There's the recipe for the inventory panel. In the middle is a sentient ender, and in there you need this soul vial. Bit of a problem because there's no way to do witches. There are no witch villages around. Nothing I can do about that really. But I did actually get one just by doing this manually, waiting for them to drop and waiting for a witch, turning it off, capturing it with soul vial, and yeah, we'll, that's fine. Once I get another one, because I want one for the inventory panel and then one, there we go, it started up. One for the inventory panel and one for a spawner later. I'll then convert this across to a completely automatic just by dropping in diamond spikes, which will kill things as they actually hit the bottom here. And yeah, let's just go over, turn it off, and kill the remaining ones, hopefully. There we go. So in order to deal with this one, and in fact, am I going to be able to... where did I actually go next? Ah, yeah, underneath. So underneath, I started putting storage drawers in, realized that the loot bags had a stack limit in the storage drawers of 32, and then it had problems. So I went and looking for more containers, which I eventually found the aforementioned caches. And that there's what happens to the chest with just a minute or two, throwing some of the stuff away, just a minute or two of this thing running when it's in auto mode. So what we want to do is change this system over using the reinforced caches, and maybe put them up at the ceiling level. I eventually changed my mind here, but I started putting them up at the ceiling level, and then you can move the stuff into them and then lock them. So if we grab some of the bags, it doesn't really matter. In fact, we can connect this whole system up automatically. Pretty straightforward, because they can only hold one type of item. So, you can just grab one of these, pop it in, and another one, pop that in, etc, etc. And you can shift right click to lock these things, and something else just dropped down. Another one of these, I think that was a skeleton. And finally the common bag. And then all I need to do really is move the rest of the stuff out of those chests and into a more dedicated system for it, which we will do. And then, yeah, I think pretty much we should be set to go into the auto mode. And yeah, 1 of 160,000 is not going to show up on that little LED gauge when I have 8 pixels to work with. So I think these are massively overkill. You can get cheaper ones with just 14 and a log. So, they're very easy to get into, just like storage drawers, but you don't need to have all the hassle with lots and lots of upgrade tiers. Storage drawers do come into their own when you start to add more and more upgrades, of course. Yeah, the jungle drawers are the ones that I would have used otherwise. So I think from there we need to then go and show you the system after it's completed, or after I've put some more work into it. If we pop downstairs, you'll see we've got lots and lots of 2x2 storage drawers, and I've moved the actual caches over onto the left-hand side where we're going to feed into them. So from that, we're going to need some power. Another lava generator will be fine, and then a ender tank. Again, just pulling from our lava source in the main base, rather than pulling all the way across the void with a long power cable. That power is for a compactor. It'll let us convert each of the loot bags up into the next tier, because they are a 2x2 recipe. So we get a compactor, which we've done before, so nothing unusual. Pistons, red alloy wire, etc. So we need to just get the ingredients for that. And I've got some of the red alloy wire. I've been making more generators, of course. And then we just need some pistons. And I may have 4. No, I have only 3, so I need to get some more. Yeah, only 3. But that's fine, because the piston recipe isn't terribly... well, it isn't when I've got all the ingredients. I need more red alloy ingots and wood. There we go. And a crafting table, of course. So let's just get a piston, convert them all, probably. Yeah, the crafting table. And we're done. We get the compactor. That can go back to our mob drops area. And I really do need some way of moving around the base faster. More portal guns, perhaps, or even some kind of ground block that can move things faster. So let's just put the compactor down there. We're just going to then connect that up. We just need some item conduit, yep, and then we can connect up the back of these. So once we connect that in, what we're going to do is configure the back of each of them. This place it's just an insert extract back on a different color, maybe. Yeah, insert and then back on green, that's okay. So each of these we're going to pull out on a brown channel all the time. Same thing on this one. Each of the green system is going to come from our mob farm. It's going to put it into the back of these. Brown will pull stuff back out, and then it will go into the compactor, which is going to accept on brown. The compactor is going to, once I finish getting this wrong, the compactor is going to convert them up into the next version, output back on green, which is then going to go back into whichever one of these will accept it, in which case it's the next version up. Because the compactor isn't actually, let's just actually finish that off. See, as you can see, it's opposite to the others. It's accepting on brown and putting back on green. It's going to pretty much do the work of just converting all these loot boxes. So we should end it with just legendary, which is fine. We just get some power. You can't shift right click power on, of course. Sneaking is the only way I can get into here, so let's get rid of you. And that should now be powered up. Yep, it's powered up. So inside there, we have only a few remaining. See, the case on this is that you need 4 to actually go up to the next tier. So the maximum inventory space that could be used is 3, because then as soon as the 4th one goes in, it'll get converted. So in this case, 3 times 4. So we only need 12 inventory spaces, and we've got much more than that. So as you can see, they're all converted automatically from 0. And we've got 7 legendary loot bags, which gets everything going, and that's pretty much make sure we get the top tier of loot bag all the time. We do now need some way of getting the loot bags to, well, yeah, we need to open the loot bags without me being there, because I don't want to stand there with like many loot bags, as I have done in the previous episodes, just manually, just to show you them. We want that to happen automatically. So in order to do that, we can use an autonomous activator, which is used in my previous series. It requires a couple of diamond gears, a copper chest, some other bits and pieces, nothing terribly amazing, some gold gear there, and a crescent hammer, which is just tin, and 3 iron. So we can get that going pretty easily. Yep. Come on, old me. You need to move on. Go and make that autonomous activator, why don't you? Yeah, I think we shall. And yeah, the system is actually still fairly empty there, because it's not in auto mode yet. So go and build the autonomous activator, would you, old me? Or actually, no. We're going to take an interlude. We are going to get rid of lots of stuff that I don't want to lose. And because one of the next things that's coming up is me wanting to get to the Ring of Flight. The problem with that is it requires a very important ingredient. So interlude is, let's go and get that ingredient, shall we? Can you guess what it is from the inventory screen? Did you see it? Hope you did. I'm just trying to find more space in my ender pouch, which is pretty normal. I just run out of room all the time. Excuse me. And yeah, if you're wondering what that is down there, just in case you see it, that's where I got the bats from. I need the bats for, again, Ring of Flight ingredients. So just put a spawn room down there or something along those lines. Just a small mob farm, so you can collect bats using soul vials. And we're about to go into the nether. For nether stars, and unfortunately I was just showing you the recipe. The recipe only works in creative mode, peaceful mode, so we're gonna have to go and fight the wither once I finish putting valuable stuff away, just in case. Now this mod pack has the hardcore wither mod. Unfortunately, that means once you kill the wither, it makes lots of things more powerful. Probably not with just one kill, but with multiple. Yeah, there's going to be a bit more of an issue. So I don't want to kill them too often. Just once would work well. And the fact that my weapons all have luck on them hopefully should mean we get more, well, loot out of them, really. So we're going to find a flat spot away from everything else where we can, well, shoot spiders. I need some soul sand, first of all. I didn't bring any with me, so let's just grab that and not fall off to our death. More soul sand? Yeah, just grab some more. Not sure how that's hovering there because my magnet isn't on, I don't think. No, it's not on, but it should be. Let's turn it on. Throw stuff off. Throw stuff away, then turn it on. There we go. And let's go and set up the wither fight. Now, it's called something else because of the hardcore wither mod, but it is pretty much a wither, so you don't have to worry about it too much other than that. So, yeah, to start with at least. Let's get our soul sand, pop them down. Yep, and then do the same thing with wither skeleton skills, as you'd expect. 1, 2, 3, and run like hell. So it's called the Harbinger. Got to wait for it to actually power up, just like the wither. There is no other difference, really. So let's just get over here, wait for it to power up. It's going to explode, and boop, there goes the wither boss. Yep, that crossbow is amazing, and I'm going to get attacked because I'm looking at the loot. Of course, I'm looking at the loot. Go away, go away. There we go. More of them will come after me. Yeah, so we got 2 nether stars because of the loot look on our weapon. A yellow heart, so we can make more. We can basically increase our health. I did already get a miniature red heart from the mob drops in the farm in our base, and a rare shader grab bag, which is pretty much useless for me. I'm not so much of a fan, to be honest. It lets you change different items, but nothing that I have yet in the mod pack. So we'll just get out of here and run away from the zombie pigmen, or just kill them. Yep. Still not got a second blood stone charged yet, unfortunately. I would like that because that would make even more regen. But we're just going to head back home and get through this interlude back to, I think, autonomous activators, because that's the next step. We just want to finish off this mob farm and back in, and hopefully I don't get ambushed again, which is, I don't know how they're actually spawning in there, but it's fine. I will figure it out one of these days. There is no other space I can put a torch in there, so, you know, that's fine. This is the shade that I was talking about. It can be applied to different things, perhaps changes the looks of things, but not too worried about that just yet. We can just leave it in a chest somewhere. There's no problem. And we should now actually go and make the materials we need. So what have we actually got? Gold gears have been created, so I need to make diamond versions of those, and I need to go and find, I've put the diamonds somewhere in another crafting table. We can go over to that and make the diamond gears. We can then use those to make our autonomous activator with a copper chest and pistons, etc. So just use those last couple of ingredients and we get an autonomous activator, which we can then go and fit to our mob farm. Once I get a wrench of some kind. Yep. And let's head over. And I just have checking for a chest because the chest, I need some kind of intermediary for receiving all the loot before I put it back into the system. So buffer chest will do just fine. I did convert that to the automatic version. You may have just seen the diamond spikes there. So turning that on will start to kill things automatically now rather than manually. And if you're wondering what the glass is in front of it, that's dark glass. It just means the mobs can't see you and you can see the mobs. So we're going to pop down a chest, which is straightforward, and then we can just pop down the autonomous activator on top. Yeah, we can just put it on top. And then we have to rotate the active side, which is the that side you just saw, until it's facing down. In this case, I get the setting wrong because I forget to change the setting inside the autonomous activator. So although I changed this in a second, it doesn't make any difference, practical difference, I don't think, to the autonomous activator. Yep, so what I'm looking to do here, I don't need to configure the sides, I just need to actually power it. And then send items in via Ender IO conduits. So let's get some conduit. And we're going to need to feed stuff in, so we can feed it into the back in this case, because that's blue. And we need to feed that from the back of the legendary block, legendary cache. So we need to change the color on that. Let's say to blue or something like that. Yeah, because that's on brown at the moment. We want to output it and make sure it goes straight to the autonomous activator, so out on blue, because nothing can be... These legendary bags can't be 2x2 converted into anything higher, so we don't need to put them into the compactor anymore. So we can convert this to an insert extraction thing. In fact, no, just insert, because we're going to extract from the chest. And it's filled it up with legendary loot bag now. And we just need to actually power it, because it does take some power. And that should be that sorted. It did actually just need me to click on the sneaking thing at the top right, but I thought it was just the chest accessibility and stuff, so I did just change this in a few seconds to using a regular chest and just some other stuff. But it actually just would work fine, just fine like this. And I'm clicking a few buttons just to see if it's these settings. And I don't click it there. I should have, but that's fine. I go and change that in just a second. Yeah, I did change it. And of course, the chest is permanently open because it is, and I did change that sneak setting, because it's permanently right-clicking. So all this loot came out of it, all of those legendary bags, and then all we need to do is feed that loot back into the system. Of course, it's staying permanently open. I need to move that chest, but I'll do that off camera. Let's just grab a item conduit, I think, and then just feed it back in on green, which is the input to the whole system, i.e. the stuff that comes from the mobs in the first place, because it's going to go back through the storage drawers, and then anything else that needs to can come back through here, but nothing will, because this is all loot, and there it goes. It's going to go straight into the main storage drawer system. It's going to start appearing. And we're pretty much done. We can turn on the system. And this is where it's a little bit slow to start. He does get quite fast once it gets going, but I think it's just detecting. You see, there's 1 or 2 pops down. But I may need to increase the catchment area at the top of the tower to make more mobs spawn in and then get pulled into the system. To be honest, though, and there's just the barrel. Sorry, 65 buckets of XP. To be honest, though, it's fast enough as is, and there's not that much stuff that we need from it. Some of the stuff that Britannia needs is in there. Otherwise, we can just, sort that out later. So, just while I'm running around, or old me is running around, hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. Sorry about it being a voiceover. Don't normally do those on Let's Plays, but we got some more mobs dropping. But it wasn't necessary this time due to my mistake, no one else's. And yeah, I didn't want to re-record the whole thing because I've had to rip everything back out again just to show the assembly, and I didn't want to actually do that. It's painful enough. So apologies. Hopefully you liked today's episode. Feel free to obviously give it a thumbs up. Or subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the little bell if you want to get notifications, or follow me on Twitter. You'll get my my notifications that way if you prefer Twitter. Otherwise, it's starting to fill up. We're getting at diamonds here, and for some reason it put loot bags in there. That's probably because I made the 2x2 wall before I put the loot bags down, and then a mob dropped down or something along those lines. Nothing terribly amazing. 1 lava generator will do just fine for this system. We won't need to do anything else. And then, yeah, I think we're done, really. I get diamonds, which I needed to make it in the first place, so having those drop is good. We've got plenty of diamonds back at the main base regardless, and we just have artifact armor in these 2x2 boxes. Of course, if I pull artifact armor out, it's going to convert into the actual looted artifact size, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm just leaving them in those boxes. And that is pretty much it, I think. 1 mob farm done with automated drops, automatic conversion of loot bags, and all the loot of those. We're going to get that out. Next up is the Ring of Flight, which is going to have to be next episode. We've got the Nether Stars, but we need Cryothium. Cryothium is, well, it's difficult to get to start off with. We can get it because of where we are. I think it's because it's a target Taiga biome, but maybe not. I could be wrong about that. Correct me in the comments below if I am wrong on that. Occasionally you get blizzards in the mob farm behind us now, and they will drop Blizz rods, which we can get cryothium out of using snowballs and Blizz powder. I have already got a few of them. They happened when I was doing this manually, but I don't have enough. Each cryothium dust, just like pyrothium, gives 100 millibuckets, and we need 40. Is it 4? We basically need 10 Blizz rods. I worked it out at least, and I've only got 7. We can go and have a look. I wish there were more. I did, however, get slimes as well. So the slimes. Oh, and there's a few more popping down. The slimes do mean that we can get probably an upgrade. I'm not sure where we should even upgrade that crossbow, but an upgrade to the crossbow. The slimes are just to the left there, with slime fletchings and maybe rod, possibly. It's just the bolts that would be upgraded, not anything else. And there's the cryothium recipe with Blizz powder, and we need to get that from Blizz rods, which we can go put through pulverizer or thermal expansion. That will give us snowballs as a kind of side effect, so we can obviously build up our supply of those as well. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much left to really talk about in this episode, other than what you've seen so far. It's a shorter episode, that much is for certain. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. So, do I have any? Am I doing anything else? I don't think I am, other than just to say I may well put in some compressed on this side to equal this side, just to do get more diamonds, more emeralds, more of the jewels that you get out. You'll get more flint and coal and everything else, but it just means that I don't have to wait for diamonds. I was waiting for quite a long time for it to go through gravel. We can speed this up with speed upgrades, and I can obviously do that. We will then put something down below as well, just more sieves, because I want to keep the sieves separate for the compressed and uncompressed. Otherwise they'll jam up and it won't be great. So yeah, we'll just put some more sieves, just like these 3 over here. And yeah, I think that is that's pretty much that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. See you next time, where I won't hopefully break the recording. And thanks for watching.